Hi guys, I'm here today. Sorry I missed you yesterday due to unforeseen circumstances. But anyway, here I am doing my first in a series calling Blast from the Past. So I know often we have old DSP that we can't bear to throw out, and in fact we may still love, but it's hard to know how to use it up. So I thought I'd just share one of my old DSPs. I looked up and this was back from 2010, so quite some time ago. And I'll just give you some tips to overcome some of the problems you may have if you've got an old DSP. And I just made this little Funfold, which is super simple. It's a good way of using up some DSP. And you could even use more here and here if you like. And it's great using up old stuff, and that means you can buy new stuff sometimes. Anyway, just wanted to go over this. So I'm using old paper, but I'm using some new stamps with it. This front one is Heartfelt Hellos, which is something that's a Sale-a-bration gift, and you can earn that for free. And the inside I've stamped with one of the new stamps from the mini catalogue. So, and I'm using the hexagon punch, so lots of nice things to show off, as well as the super old stuff. So just some ideas. One of the problems you have, you may find when you're using up an old paper, is that you can't match the colours. One of the things that's great about Stampin' Up is the colour coordination. And so this is a way I keep my scraps. I keep my scraps when I've just got down to a few things. I pop them into an envelope and I write on the front the colours that are inside in the pattern. And you can find that by googling the name of the paper on the internet. Is a great source. So we still have Real Red, but Pacific Point, Pear Pizzazz, actually Whisper White is also retired, and Bashful Blue. All those colours are retired. So as I go through the series, I'll give you some different tips, but I'll show you today one of the things I did. I wanted to make another one of these cards, and I've got all my bits. Where are all my bits? Oh my goodness. I had them all ready, and now I can't find them. Oh yes, I put them in here. No, I didn't put them in here. I put them in here. Yes, that's what I did. I put them in this envelope. It could have turned out badly. Okay, so I've already cut some pieces here. So this is a little, so I'll be sharing this pattern as well, and the dimensions. So I'm using metric, and I'll show you how I score this. So Real Red, I started off with Real Red because Real Red is a current one. Whisper White has been replaced with Basic White, so we can definitely use the Basic White, which I have there. So I've cut this piece. It's 10.5, and it is the width of the paper, so 21. And we're just going to score this at 6.2. So sliding to 6.2, just make it sure it's nice and parallel there, and we're just scoring that with the scoring blade, and that's all we need there. Everything else I've pre-cut. So we'll just fold and burnish that, and where's my burnishing tool? There it is. So just burnish that down so we get a nice fold. And these, so this is what we're making. So I've cut these pieces. So this one is 14.3 by 14.3 by 10 centimetres. I'm just going to use fine bead here, and it just goes down straight onto our background here, onto the base of the card. It needs to come down a teeny bit there. Don't be nervous, Carol Ann. I think I can do this without getting a mess. Okay. Now I wanted to make a flap like this. I still had one sheet of some partial bits of Pacific Point, this blue colour, and I've got another envelope. I keep an envelope with my scraps of Pacific Point. So I do have some scraps in here, but there weren't any that were big enough to make this flap. So I'm just going to give you another little idea of how you can deal with this. I would normally have cut this across the width of my cardstock, so it would be 21. That dimension is 21 centimetres there. Score it at 10.5. But yeah, as I said, I didn't have any pieces that were big enough to do that. So I actually cut a piece that was same size as the front. And I cut this piece, so this is 10.5 by whatever that dimension is, 6.5 centimetres. I'll have a PDF. I'll link that after I've finished the video, which will have all these dimensions on it. So I just cut this 1 centimetre wider. Hi Melanie, I can see you're watching. I'm glad you caught me. I wasn't here last night. So this is an extra 1 centimetre long. So instead of 10.5, it's 11.5, and I've scored it at 1 centimetre. So just one of my little tricks. You know, I call myself the queen of scraps, and I do kind of pride myself on being able to use up these pieces. So I'm just going to lay that piece in there and tuck that over there, and now I've got a piece that's the right size, and I don't have to score it. I've done the score in that. I see it is a little bit off there, so I might just bring in the trimmer. I probably didn't allow for the turn there, so what I call the turn of cloth. So we'll just trim that off. And what we're going to do now with this one, we're actually going to open this from the right hand side. So when we open it up, we're going to put this piece, which is going to be the insert, just a small little insert, and that is 6 by 10. So we're going to put it on that side, just centre it there. I haven't stamped it. I usually advise you to stamp first, but I haven't followed my own advice. And now we need the pieces of DSP. Now these pieces of DSP are almost identical sizes. They are the same length, but one's slightly wider than the other, and the wider one is the one we're going to put on here. So I'm just going to use the flip side of this and adhere it to the front there. So yes, I'm planning to do more of these, and I'll be featuring some of my old papers. As I say, this one's I think 2010, so 14 years old. And I was inspired to make this when I was needing to make a card for my nephew. So I think he will enjoy this. Nice bright colours. And this other piece is the same height, 10 centimetres, and the width is 5.7. I'm just going to pop that on there. Okay, that's all the DSP stuck down. Now this bit, I'm just put it so that little join that I did, because I'm being scrappy, is obviously at the back, and you're never even going to see it. So I'm going to stick this down, make sure the opening is on the left-hand side, and we're just going to kind of centre it in the middle of that back panel. Stick it down. And then that little flap will go there and like that. Now all we're going to do is do the stamping. And I've got another couple of tips here for what you do with old papers. Let's just cap this. Because sometimes you don't have, you may not have the inks. Sometimes you can find something that's a fairly close substitute. So for this one here, so this background ink here is Pear Pizzazz, and it's a lighter shade, very similar though to Old Olive. So I am going to use Old Olive here for this front bit, and I'm just going to, oh, it's not the right one, let's find the right one. Here's my Old Olive, and so this is the stamp set. As I said, it's a Sale-a-bration freebie, and I'm going to use the same phrase again, I think, but you can see it does have, it's got something that works for Father's Day, something for Mother's Day, something for Easter. Enjoy your day. It works for quite a few things, but it's great for a birthday. And the Love You More you could use for Valentine's Day or lots of other occasions, and also the multi-purpose hello. So this is a great little set, and they're quite bold sentiments, which look effective on a card like this. So just show you when I'm trying to line something up so it's going to stamp straight, I will just line it up on my grid paper, and just by eye I'm actually using the tops of these bottom row of letters and just line them up on that line there. I think it might be down a little bit there. Actually, it doesn't matter too much. I've just remembered it doesn't matter too much for this because I'm going to be using the punch anyway. So let's get my scrap of white, which hopefully is in my envelope here. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's not a good idea. I wonder if I could stamp it on here. I think I possibly could. I will have to stamp it straight if I stamp it on here. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can do it. Because this is another way you can use up some of your scraps is, you know, sometimes you can, no, that scrap's too small. Sometimes you can stamp onto some of these lighter colours, and you'll actually end up with, hopefully, let's see if we get this. I might have made it too close to the edge. That's pretty good. Let's see if I can actually stamp it out though. I think I can just make it there, and I'm going to line it up with the grid. Probably would have preferred to have it slightly lower, but I think that will work. Okay, so we're going to pop that away. And I'm just going to pop that on there. I think I do want to actually put something underneath it to give this a bit more body. And if, you know, if I'm using paper and I think that's a little bit flimsy to pop it up on dimensionals, well, I could just stick it straight down and not use dimensionals at all. But in fact, what I'm going to do is just grab some cardstock to pop under it. Hold on a minute here. So just take a scrap, but this is actually, ta-da, I'm using up something which is, I sent for something and then never used it, and we've got a stray something on there as well. And we'll just punch that out, and I'm just going to stick this, oh, let's punch another one because I threw that one on the floor. Here we go, we'll punch that out. We'll use our glue to stick it down, and this just gives it some extra body, and just gives a bit more interest to the background because we've used that pattern paper. And just make sure you're lining up the edges while the glue's still wet. Yeah, doesn't want to stick on there very well, does it? Let's just line that up a bit better there. There we go. That just gives a bit more dimension and stability. So I'll put some dimensionals on the back. No one will ever know it was a stamping error on the back of it. Well, unless someone dismantles your card, I guess. Okay, so we'll pop these dimensionals off. Now I'm going to make this as a challenge for anyone who might still actually have this paper in their stash. I'm going to challenge you to use it up. You don't have to use this design, but I'd love to see a card you make with it. And if you post in the comments a picture of a card that you've made using the Celebrations paper, I will send you a card. And I hope that will encourage you to make some progress with using up your stash. So yeah, I was going to tell you, so Pacific's Point, I did have a little bit of paper, DSP in my, cardstock in my stash. But what I do, I like to keep the retired inks. I keep the re-inker, and I keep a little cube that I have inked up. So this takes up a lot less space, but it keeps that colour in my collection. So this is my little Pacific Point. So I know it's going to match up with the colours in here perfectly. And I'm just stamping that up. Hope your birthday is wonderful. Oops. We'll put that down straight. We'll soon see. Okay, that's not too bad. Hope your birthday is wonderful. Enjoy your day. So that's just a quick little card, uses up some DSP, and with some tips on how to use your old papers up. So maybe I'd love you to join me in this challenge. And as I say, I'll be linking in the PDF for this design if you wanted to use this design yourself. Okay, hope you can join me. I'll be making this into a regular feature and trying to find the best time that's going to work for me on a regular basis. Haven't quite figured that one out yet. Okay, thank you for joining me tonight. Bye.